Everybody's
got to
seen
deal
your,
with it.
everybody's seen your dick, and you got a hole in your trousers. Yeah. You just have to fucking power through, mate.
Do you know what? That never happened. I had a hole before, but not like what I'm imagining yours is. Like half your trousers missing.
Ripped the shit out of those trousers. Yeah.
Yeah, I never had that. But I was fortunate. I only lived down the road from school.
No, I had to get the bus. I had to get a half hour.
The Football Drop Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the Football Drop Podcast. I am Ben, and with me as always is my trusty sidekick, Will. How are you doing?
Sidekick.
Well, if we really want to go down of what you are in part of this relationship, we can, after the picture that came up on your memories this week. I thought I'd be polite.
Yeah, I was worried that you
doing?
was going to call me your trusty steed.
Cool. Nice.
Huh? What'd you say?
Yep. I asked how you were, and then you froze and went silent.
I was talking. I said, I thought you was calling me your trusty steed.
No, just another poor recording so far. But we'll see how we get on, shall we?
Yeah, it sounds like we can only go up.
Down. Things
can
only get better.
What I don't understand is, though, how can you be like, you can do a full day at work and be on calls all day with no issue, and then you go onto this, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, we're just gonna freeze you for this part
because it's the end of the day, and this is the fun part. Therefore, it's given up.
Yeah, bit like me.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
How are you, my G? How was your weekend?
Yeah, do you know what? We had a lovely weekend. We had a proper family day on Saturday, and it was really nice.
I assume you're not talking about with me, like
no,
your family.
No. Like my actual family.
Oh, nice. What'd you do?
We had a little trip up to Westwood. We got a sausage roll from Greg's to keep us going for the day because we hadn't eaten anything since Friday afternoon because we both forgot to eat.
How'd you forget to eat?
We were just busy. And then Maisie was crying. Then we was looking after Maisie. Then we had people round. Then it was too late to eat at that point.
Okay.
So we went up Westwood, then came back, fed Maisie, and then went out and we went to the lighthouse, the famous lighthouse where we got engaged. And,
that was about a year ago now, wasn't it?
Was across. It was over a year ago now.
Wow, that's gone so fast.
And it was mad. We just sat on the bench for about 10 minutes and just kind of taken it in, thinking how much has changed in a year. Insane, absolutely insane. The only thing that's been a constant is our plays on this podcast.
Yeah, very true.
It's the only thing that's actually been a constant, really. But no, we had a nice time. They went to Coco Latino, had a nice hot chocolate from there, and then we had
meant to be banging
chip, mate. It was decent. Wasn't the best, but it was decent.
Okay. And
then we went to Pete's Fish Factory, had fish and chips, and then walked home.
Nice. Sounds like a really healthy day for you on your Melvy fat journey.
Under calories still, bro.
Yeah.
1,400 and something calories that was. I had no snacks all day, nothing. And that was the day I did 18,000 steps.
Nice.
For our congratulations. To make sure. So, yeah, it's quite nice. And then yesterday, annoyingly, we had to go out for lunch because it was our niece's birthday. And I had Hunter's chicken. And I turned down dessert. And I turned down birthday cake. Massive step, I know.
Well done, mate. Well,
thank you. How was your weekend?
Desserts.
How was your weekend?
Good question. Yeah, it was all right. I was left in charge of the kids, so it was interesting. I felt knackered. I got kicked in the leg on Monday at football, and my leg.
God, you're still going on about this.
Honestly, my leg is still sore now to touch.
Really? Maybe just don't touch it and you'll be all right. Do
you remember on Championship Manager where you'd be playing and it would be like, oh, Nicolas Anelka's out for a week with a dead leg, and you'd be like, oh, fuck, it was just a dead leg. I take it all back.
Yeah, I feel you.
I take that all back because it's not just a dead leg. It's absolute agony.
Agony, is it? Agony.
So
are you coming tonight or are you going to be a flake?
Well, I've got this illness that you have somehow passed to me through the wave sounds lengths of
What are you
teams.
talking about? And I don't know why I'm saying teams, because we haven't used teams for a year. But yeah.
So this is the issues that I'm faced with now. Whether I can come tonight, and I'll just be hacking up greenies. I reckon
It might clear you out, though.
that is true.
And if you've got the same illness I have, you'll get biggest loser in a week. You'll lose a cool 5 kilos and get us all those points, mate.
That was absolutely incredible, by the way, that you lost 5 kilos.
Insane, isn't it?
What's that in like real money? Is that like
What's that real money?
like stone and pounds?
I don't know.
You don't know. It's got to be like
0.7 stone, nearly 0.8 stone.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Wow,
That's insane. I didn't realise it was that much.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
What's that in pounds then?
I don't know.
No.
So I'll Google it again, mate.
Yeah, good.
5 kg in pounds.
I'm sure the
Mate,
listeners
that's
can't wait to hear.
£11.
£11, incredible.
Fuck.
Was that in 1 week?
Technically 2 weeks. I didn't go the week before.
Yeah. Well done.
But yeah, judging by the scales, that was 1 week. Keeping an eye on it, which is insane. I don't think I'm doing that again this week though.
No. How is things looking?
I'm 0.7 now, up.
Okay.
So it's looking all right. Yeah, I was 1.6, I think, or 1.8 this morning, but it's been dropping throughout the day, so that's nice.
Well done. Well done, you.
Thank you. Thanks, I appreciate that. I appreciate you.
So, anything exciting to tell us?
Excited? What? No.
No? It's all right.
I don't
No
know,
pressure. No, I just wondered if you had anything exciting to tell us, or if we should move on to the news.
No, nothing from me, mate. Nothing from me. Very boring this week. I did want to start with the news stuff, if you don't mind, though.
Sure thing, my guy.
So, it's our least favourite time of the year. It's another international break.
Yeah, what is that about? Why have we got so many international breaks this year? Is it
feels
normal?
like there's more. No,
It does,
I'm
doesn't
sure
it?
there's 2, but there's 3 now.
Yeah.
It does feel like there's more than normal. But the fun part is, I don't know if you saw it, about the German national team.
Yeah.
They called up Dario Sitz
Yeah.
to their squad. Unfortunately,
There was an issue with that, though, wasn't there?
Dario Sitz is Latvian, and he's played against Germany in the under-21s.
Yeah. Now, is this a mistake made by Nagelsmann, or is this a mistake made by the social media team at the German FA?
Well, I don't know, because surely Nagelsmann he selects who he wants, doesn't he? But surely there's got to be someone who checks whether they're eligible to even play.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, everyone would be choosing Messi.
Could you imagine?
Messi, Ronaldo, I'll have Neymar, I'll have Saliba, I'll have Gabriel at the back. Like it wouldn't work. So surely there's a massive error somewhere. It can't just be the social media guy saying, well, he's told me he wants Dario Sitz, so we've called him up. Like, it doesn't work like that, surely.
No, it can't. It can't work like that. Unless I don't even. That'd be interesting to know if there's any international management out there that wants to come on the podcast and let us know how it works when you select people. Because I thought you just got a phone call from the manager to say, right, you called up. But if he's called up Sitz, do you reckon he's like? So one or two things has happened here. Sitz has gone. Fucking, this is brilliant. Yeah? All right, Julian. I'll come and play for you, the German national team. Yeah, okay. Make sure you put it out, though. But, like, I will only play if you put me in, like, capital letters.
Yeah, capital letters. And I've got to be the first person on the sheet. Everyone sees me at the top. And I'm like, yeah, of course. But why? Why do you want you at the top? Well, you see. You will see.
You will see. Because, so, Paul Vanna from Heidenheim has declined the call-up. He said, no, I'm all right. So I wonder if he just got off the phone to him. He's like, nah, I'm not playing in this silly competition that no one gives 2 fucks about. And then Nagelsmann's gone, oh, all right. And then Sitz is like, yeah, no, I can't play. And he's like, go on, you've got to play because like I have to. And he's gone, all right, fine. Like, oh, I can't have another person reject me, blah, 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 blah. All right, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. And okay, you've actually I want to talk about a little bit here, because where do you stand with club players rejecting international call-ups, but still playing for their club before and straight after the international break?
Are you asking me as an Arsenal fan or a football fan?
A football fan.
because just so you know, Declan Rice
Saka
played
and
with
Declan Rice have pulled out.
Declan Rice played with a broken toe, and Bukayo Saka come off late after the game yesterday. So they are not going to play for England, which I'm fucking relieved about, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, in all honesty, it kind of takes away, and I don't know what's done this, whether it's been a collective effort from FIFA to promote the club game, with the Champions League, the restructure of that, different competitions, and then also to monetize lots and lots and lots by playing lots more games. Whether the players are now like, well, I just want to play for my club, because playing for England isn't like, it's an honour. I can imagine. Not that I've ever played for them; they've never asked, but it's an honour to be called up to that England team. But I don't know if it's as much of an honour now as it was 10, 15 years ago.
I don't know where I stand, because I disagree with the honour part. I think it's always going to be an honour to play for your country. But is it an honour to play for your country against San Marino?
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, because it is to go to a World Cup, to go to the Euros, all of that sort of stuff, to
That's
play in the
different, isn't
Nations
it?
League.
Yeah, exactly. Nations League is literally just glorified friendlies, isn't it? We all know this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nagelsmann's tried to fucking call up a Latvian. That's how little he thinks of it.
Let's see if I can get away with this. Here, lads, watch
Yeah.
Let's give it a go. Why not? But yeah, it's just, I just don't know. It's like the Ben White situation, isn't it? Rejects. He's like, no, I'm not available for England.
I wonder actually if that would change under Tuchel.
Mate, all this stuff about Tuchel at the moment is really confusing me here. So apparently, this is mad, he's allowed to work from home.
What do you mean?
Like, when he takes over, he is allowed to still do his work remotely at times. Now, I'm sorry, but I appreciate you can watch football anywhere in the world, but can you really see what a player's doing if they're not on the screen the whole time? But if you're at the game, you can see this. So how can he do that job remotely? The England national team manager, how can you do that job remotely?
I assume remotely would mean he's going to be like doing paperwork, making those phone calls. I don't know. He might go for Paul Pogba. Yeah, do you want to come play for England? Like those sorts of phone calls, he might be able to do from home. I assume he's not going to watch games and take training and stuff from home. That can't happen.
No, of course not. Not taking training and stuff. That's mental. But it just seems really strange the way they've come out with some of the stuff. It's like he's not getting involved with anything until he starts in Jan, which I think is respectable, but also a missed opportunity. He hasn't spoken to Nick Carsley. He hasn't spoken to anyone about it. Surely you'd be tapping into their knowledge and finding out exactly what their thoughts are on things and getting a real insider knowledge beforehand. I know he knows a lot of the players, but it just seems weird. The whole
it's an interesting point.
Seems strange.
Because when you've changed jobs, you've not... I assume, because I can only talk for myself maybe, but for myself, I don't get involved. I don't go there and I like meet the team or anything like that. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to wait until my start date, and that's when I'll turn up and I'll be like, hi, I'm Will, nice to meet you, blah, 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 blah. But I do know of people, definitely more professional than me, that have been and brought in like cakes and like introduced them to themselves before their start date. Say, oh, hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. Nice to meet you. I'm going to be the new sort of HR person, this, that, and the other. And I've just gone, that's fucking mental. But maybe that's the right way to do it. But maybe Tuchel's in our category of like, what? Yeah, you want me to start my job before I'm even going to get paid for it? Absolutely not.
I mean, yeah, when you say it like that, absolutely. It's bonkers to even think he would do that. But would you not at least have a phone call with someone?
I think I would. I think I would like to think that I'd be a professional manager and I'd be like, right, I'm about to take over this club.
It's a huge job as well. He wanted it.
Yeah.
He'd been hinting at this for a long time. I don't know, it's just... it really...
Has he got other stuff to finish up? Because Amorim at Sporting... he's been managing the team, so I don't know what Tuchel does outside of management, but maybe he's got other things that he's doing.
Amorim's been managing the team?
Sporting.
Oh, I thought you were talking about England. I was like, no, mate, that's Lee Carsley. They're very different people.
No, they're saying basically. So one's got hair, one hasn't. That's it.
And one's called Ruben, one's called Lee.
No, that's not. I didn't mean he's been managing
No.
England.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that Ruben Amorim thing, though, that's different because he is still working for Sporting.
Yeah, that's what. So that was my point. Is Tuchel still got other things going on that he's like, well, no, this is more important than starting this job before and being paid?
Maybe. I guess maybe. I don't know. Yeah, nothing's really been sort of suggested about it, I suppose, but not that I've read anything. I mean, any listeners, let us know. I've not read anything else to sort of say anything.
Ben's catchphrase is coming out early. I've not seen that. It's like working with Arsene Wenger sometimes. Working with you.
I did not see it. Whatever, mate. Whatever. Let's talk about Ruben, shall we?
Go on then.
Smashed City midweek, didn't he? 4-1.
They did all right, didn't they?
Sporting looked incredible against him. City are obviously in a bit of a slump, which is amazing to see. Which also, mind-blowing, Pep has only ever lost 4 games in a row twice in his entire managerial career.
I didn't think he'd ever lost.
Yeah, he did it at Bayern at 2015.
Oh, okay. No, I thought that was the first time he's ever lost 4 games in a row.
Insane, isn't it?
Talking of insanity, Haaland is the quickest person to reach 75 goals in the Premier League. He did it in 77 games.
Mate, he's just insane.
And he hadn't scored for 5 games before the weekend.
Yeah, I know. Mate, it blows my mind. Didn't he have 9 goals in 4 games or something this season?
At the beginning of the season, yeah.
And everyone's like, holy shit, he could be like 50, 60 goals here. Then all of a sudden he goes into a slump. And everyone's like, oh, it's a goal drought. It's like, mate, it's 4 games or 5 games.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's insane,
really
isn't
poorly
it?
in those games as well, which hasn't helped.
Yeah, they have,
He needs that service,
They've been
doesn't
really
he?
poor.
He's a striker that needs that service. He won't create himself.
But they've got...
the service, he'll score.
They've got people to provide that service. I think teams have just kind of started to work City out.
Which
but I mean,
Amorim, he highlighted that massively last week, didn't he? Which obviously sets him up quite nicely for starting his new job at Man United.
Yeah, I think his final game he got a draw, like a last-minute draw, if I remember seeing that.
They won 4-2 against Braga.
Oh, was it a 4-2 win? Oh, okay, maybe it's the game before. Yeah, so his last game, he absolutely he smashed it. So he's gone out well on a high, and I seem to remember seeing him being like chucked in the air by the players and things like that in celebration, and he seemed to be well liked and well respected.
Yeah, he seems to have done a good job. Obviously, he turned down West Ham, didn't he, in the summer, apparently. Yeah, talks with him and turned him down, said he wants to stay, which I get. Like, I think West Ham would be a step down from Sporting Lisbon.
Some and some. Yeah, I can see that. I just think you'll be playing in a more competitive league than
but Champions
the Portuguese
League.
League.
Get to highlight it, play against these good teams.
Yeah, I don't know if some managers from abroad see it like that. I think they see the Premier League as, in some cases, not all. I feel like I need to put that in, but I feel like some managers think I'd rather go and manage West Ham not in the Champions League than manage, I don't know, Bratislava in the Champions League because it's a more competitive league. I'm going to get my name out there, etc., etc. And I know Sporting is a little bit different, but I could see Portugal being on the verge of one of those leagues of I'd rather go to the Premier League than stay in. It's La Liga there, isn't it?
No, Primera Liga, I think.
Primera Liga, yeah, you're right. It is that, you're right.
I see your point, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose Premier League is always going to have that pull and that attraction, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I suppose if you've never done Champions League football before, going to a lower league, so to speak, it's an absolute golden opportunity to play against these big teams and play in the ECO, I suppose.
Yeah.
But Ruud van Nistelrooy's done a very good job. 3 wins out of 4 and a draw.
Yeah. So he's not lost. So he's got a pretty good record.
Did they keep him on?
I think they will. I think he was brought in because he's only just joined, isn't he? I think he was.
He joined in the summer, didn't he?
He's
got a contract till 2026 as well. Okay,
yeah. Well, then he's staying. I think he should. I think he brings a different perspective. He brings that attacking kind of perspective that they didn't really have before. I mean, I don't know what Ten Hag was doing with it, and I still feel it's a great shame that he's had to leave the Premier League because I feel like he was really valued by everybody in the Premier League, with exception to maybe Man United.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think the value he had of stick to the plan. Just stick to the plan.
Yeah, stick to the plan. But if I'm held accountable, I will deflect that shit away as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. But do you think United will kick on? So
Yeah,
I know
they
they're
already
13th
have.
at the moment, but they're only like 4 or 5 points behind us.
Yeah, well, there's not many points in it at the minute. I think, what was it, from 9th place to 3rd place, there's 1 point.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, it's absolutely madness. So there's not many points in it at all at the moment. So yeah, Manchester United in 13th place. I think, they'll be all right. I think they'll avoid relegation this season and they'll start to climb the table.
That'll be disappointing to see. What do you think is deemed a success for Amorim this season? Or do you think he has got a complete free pass to just finish wherever and do whatever?
I still think that they'll have to hold him accountable because they've spent like £500 million on players over the last sort of season and a bit. So I think that they will still say, you've got the top quality here. It just needs putting together. And obviously, you'll be able to strengthen in the summer in the areas that you see fit. But they still got a solid squad, Man United, no doubt about it. They should be aiming for Champions League. I think Europa League will be what they should get, and if they can pick up a Carling Cup on the way, maybe an FA Cup, that would be what their aim will be.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I just think it's a little bit harsh on him to be held accountable massively. But then again, he's going to have 3/4 of a season. That's a long time, isn't it? I know there's no pre-season, which makes a huge difference. And obviously he's going to change the system totally. Because he plays that 3-4-3, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. And Rude has managed to, take a bad Man United team and get, 3 or 4 results from that. So, I think Man United will be all right. And I said, under Ten Hag, I felt that they had a good team and that they could put in a good shift. Unfortunately, the tactics around it, I still don't really know what they were, but I just
does.
No, I think they've done well. I think Man United will do well. Sorry, not they did do well. They didn't do very well, but I think they will do well with the players that they've got. They've got some really strong players. Fernandes showed at the weekend, he can lead that team and he can drive them forward in that way. And
he's been insane since Ten Hag's gone.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
I can't remember the exact quote, but it came across like he stuck the boot in on Ten Hag at the weekend. He said, we want to give Ruud van Nistelrooy a good send off. He's really helped us out.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, fucking hell, mate.
Things weren't okay under Ten Hag, mate.
No, clearly not.
Things weren't okay there.
Things were clearly worse than what it seemed on the outset, really.
I must say, though, that this Premier League season feels like one of the most exciting Premier League seasons we have had for quite a long time. And I hope Liverpool don't start to disappear away with it. And I hope that the teams at the bottom can continue with what they're doing because I've really, really enjoyed it so far. I think it's been so exciting. You don't know who... Like, we've done predictions on a few times and we've gone, I don't know. I don't know who's going to win this one because it could go either way.
I feel like especially the last 3 or 4 game weeks as well have been insane. Like you just don't know where it's going to go.
No.
So, yeah, mate. Yeah, I hope... Yeah, I mean... From an Arsenal perspective, I certainly hope Liverpool don't run away with it. But we're 9 points off them at the moment, which is disgraceful, quite frankly.
Yeah. Liverpool have been outstanding.
Yeah. They've been absolutely exceptional, haven't they? Without changing too much.
Which we'll come on to, I am sure.
Indeed.
So it was just one little thing before we go into the Premier League that I wanted to ask you. Because I have I heard something the other day and it just reminded me of playing football in the school, all of those sorts of things. At school, did you play much football?
Yeah, at lunchtime and stuff we had a kick about.
Yeah. Did you play for the school team or anything like that?
No, we never had a football team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had rugby, hockey and cricket. We never had a football team.
Oh, that's insane, really?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
It's like old school grammar school stuff, and it's all traditional.
That's absolutely mental. But I just wanted to find out if anybody had any stories from secondary school to share with us, because there's some hilarious ones. So I did put something out on Instagram. We did get a couple of responses back on that. But I mean, I don't know about you. Have you got any stories that come to off the top of your head from playing football at school? Before I launch into mine.
No, not massively. Not like anything outstanding. I mean, where we used to play, so we had. I don't know if you've ever been to Chatham House at all, like to the grounds or anything. But we had like a top field.
Wouldn't let me in, mate. Name wasn't on the list.
Excuse me. They had a cricket pitch at the top, which was always like sealed off, obviously during winter and spring until summertime. But you always used to just kind of set up as that would kind of be like the end of your pitch. But obviously, nothing's going to stop you from being pushed into that. The amount of times people was like pushed into these ropes and this, do you remember like the orange like plastic fencing?
Yeah.
The amount of times like we got our foot stuck in there, we'd fall over and like twist our ankle and like get pushed over and shit. But that's kind of the limit for us.
Okay. Yeah. I specifically kind of remember you had to have those certain shoes. I don't know if you remember them. They were like
Yes. I know what you're going to
wow.
say.
Yeah, you do remember. Yeah.
Yes, I remember those.
They had like
Shot power 100.
two laces on them, didn't they? Like a loafer with like just two laces right at the top.
Yeah.
You tied them up, and you became David Beckham in Predators.
Absolutely. And mate, the power you could get off those bad boys was insane.
Yeah, insane. But I remember when I switched away from them and went for like a loafer, because I thought, this will make me look gangster. And what effect, mate? Zero grip.
Hang on,
Zero grip.
You thought you would look gangster.
Yeah.
You are the least gangster I've ever met.
Well, I know that now, but back in the day, I thought I was an absolute G at some point,
Back in black and white TV, yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Gangster.
But I do remember like slipping over quite a lot, especially in like the mud, and then you've got, because obviously you're wearing your school clothes, and then you've got to walk around the school in like wet, dirty, horrible, muddy clothes, and you're like, fucking hell, how is this ever gonna?
I forgot about that. That was the worst part, because you'd always play in winter no matter what. You'd always be a bit wet, but you'd have to play. You'd have to run around like an idiot. And you slip, like if you play before school even starts, and you slip and you like cover the whole side of your leg, that's it for the day.
Yeah, that's
You're
it.
literally
Yeah.
stuck like that the whole day. Yeah,
and then it like dries and it goes really hard, and you can't almost like bend your legs, so you sort of walk in like you've got a bit of.
You got to keep smacking it, don't you? Like break it down during the lessons. Yeah. Like, was that you? No.
Yeah, it was just mud on the floor.
Me.
Yeah.
And you saw it aligned. It wasn't you.
I remember one time though, I was playing football, and I stretched a bit too far in my trousers.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But I mean, when I look back, I do think to myself, how the fuck did you not know? Because I remember walking back to class and I remember the breeze, and I'm like, oh, God, that is incredible. Like, my balls are like right now they're just being fanned with the breeze, and there's hot. So I get back into class. Still, to this day, do not know why I didn't check, because I felt a breeze. That was clue number one.
Yeah, you've got to know, surely.
You have to know. So I'm sat there in class, laying back, like
legs
big bollocks,
naturally akimbo,
legs naturally apart, and then people around me start laughing. Right? Which is never a good sign when you got your dick out. So I then am like trying to say to my mate, like, what's so funny? What's so funny? Yeah. He then points at it, and I'm like, shit, like my dick is hanging out. What do you do then though? Because that's after lunch, so you've still got a good 2 lessons. Everybody's seen your dick, and you got a hole in your trousers. Yeah. You just have to fucking power through, mate.
Do you know what? That never happened. I had a hole before, but not like what I'm imagining yours is, like half your trousers missing.
Ripped the shit out of those trousers. Yeah.
Yeah, I never had that. But I was fortunate. I only lived down the road from school.
No, I had to get the bus. I had to get a half hour, mate. It was about half an hour away. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that is embarrassing shit.
That's an embarrassing story, isn't it? Yeah. Do you know what though? I do think back, and it was either done behind my back, or nothing really got much. There was nothing made of it much really after that. I didn't get called like Willie Dick out Salisbury or anything like that. It was like
Willie Dick out Salisbury. Just going to change your name on my phone. Oh, mate.
Yeah, but I'm sure I've got more. I'm sure there are more stories out there. So please do get in touch with us to let us know some of your stories. And yeah, it'll be fascinating to hear. I'll bring a couple more next week as well. So we'll see what I go on.
Excellent. Let's move on to the weekend's games because I'm just conscious of time and I don't want people to get bored of us. But I want to talk firstly, naturally. How could they? How could they get bored about talking about Will's bollocks and dick hanging out? Like, how could they get bored of that?
Yeah,
this is top-notch content. What was your game of the weekend?
What was my game of the weekend? That is a very good question.
Was there one that stood out for you? Because I thought it was going to be the Arsenal-Chelsea game. I mean, until the second half, it was pretty boring. And the second half, there was just no midfield.
Yeah, that's true. A couple stick out for me. So I enjoyed the Forest Newcastle game. I enjoyed the Tottenham Ipswich game. I enjoyed the Brentford Bournemouth game. The Wolves game was quite entertaining. They got a VAR call that was quite fortunate, I think, which doesn't normally happen to Wolves. And I sat down on a Saturday evening to watch Liverpool Villa with a couple of glasses of the old amber nectar, which was quite nice.
Very nice, very nice. How was the? I know you wanted to talk about the Liverpool game, didn't you?
Not specifically, but look, I did enjoy the way Liverpool played that game. I felt like they countered so quick, and Villa did not learn their lesson at all on that counter. They were just riding their luck, and I understand it. You know, when you're trying to push for that win and you've got all your players up and stuff. But I just felt like Liverpool are just so quick. And Gravenberch, when he was signed, we was a bit like, I don't know why they've got him, but he is proving to be that absolute rock in the middle of their pitch.
Which is really strange because he's not that type of player. He's not known to be that type of player. And then this season, I feel like they've had to because they couldn't get that Zubimendi, could they? That was one of the only signings they really wanted. Also, they got Chiesa, who's barely featured.
Well, he's been injured, hasn't he?
Oh, is he? Oh, is that
yeah,
right?
yeah. He's been injured,
okay.
yeah. I think he's back now, so watch this space.
Watch this space, indeed. But yeah, Gravenberch has been a revelation this season. Like, he's been absolutely insane. Crazy.
Yeah.
I just didn't think he'd kick on like that. But I suppose some people, they do need a season to get used to it. And different manager. Slightly different tactics, tweaks it a little bit more, build up from the back a bit more.
Yeah, I sort of think that in Darwin Núñez as well, Liverpool have got a real lot of potential there from him. He needs to score more. That's why I say potential, because he needs to score more. He had 4 or 5 really, really golden opportunities to put that ball away, and he only took one of them. Now I know that's coming from me, who rarely puts his stuff away. But I just felt like Núñez should have scored more. I think he'll get there. I do think he's going to become a really, really good player in that sense, because he already is a good player. But he would just missed a few for me, and I thought, you need to get better at your finishing.
No, I agree with you on that one. I do agree. But I equally don't want him to improve because I don't want Liverpool to get better.
I think
when he plays, I do get a bit excited. Like, yes, okay, we've got a chance here.
Well, Liverpool have got so much depth. I mean, for them to make substitutions and then they consistently make a sub and then they get better. So bringing on Gakpo, bringing
ridiculous.
on some of the players that they've got. It's unreal the depth that they've managed to give themselves.
Yeah, and they all seem to be in good form.
Yeah,
I think that's what's really helping them. No one that they bring on is in bad form or having a bit of a stinker. They're all having 7, 8 out of 10 games constantly.
Yeah, but I think the big news that came from that game is I think I've fixed VAR.
Go on, explain.
So Unai Emery at the end of the game, and I remember seeing it during the game, but at the end of the game, he was very upset with one specific challenge. Well, there was 2, but one of the challenges was in the area where, I can't remember who it was now, was being pulled around by Konate, I think it was. And he said that should have been a penalty. When watching the game, the commentator said, oh, I don't think that is a penalty. And for me, I don't think it was a penalty. There was a bit of a pull, but what is it? And this is my point, right? So the commentator said, I don't think it was as bad as the West Ham one because it wasn't being held for long enough, which made me think that's about consistency. Yeah? So what they're trying to do is be consistent and get it right. But is the initial, so the West Ham one, does that make that right? And who decides that that was right? You're just being consistent, but are you being consistent with wrong information? And then I thought to myself, wow, I've been calling for consistency. Now when I'm almost getting consistency, I'm unhappy about it. So the fix for VAR is to not get involved.
So what's the point of having VAR then?
You need to get involved when there is offside, a dangerous tackle, or you have to, if you're going to get involved in anything else other than those kind of things that you can identify straight away, so it's clear and obvious, if you can't do that and it's about perception and it's about, oh, is the consistency? What is the consistency? What's the right thing? What's the wrong thing? Then the referee needs to make the decision. So you call the referee over and he makes the decision. You know, you could get the video on his watch. How cool would that be, by the way? Like,
That would be cool, yeah.
You need something other than what they've got at the moment. So VAR doesn't work now because you're being consistent and it's wrong.
Is that not how VAR should be working now, though?
No, because they get involved in everything. You score a goal.
Yeah, but how they should be, though. Is that not what the remit of VAR was when it was first introduced?
That was the idea, but it got taken further forward. And now we're in this limbo of, well, VAR should make a decision on that. Well, last week we said he was being held for 12 seconds, and that was long enough. This time he's only being held for 3 seconds. That's not long enough. But that doesn't make it not a foul.
No, it's still a foul, no matter what. Yeah, I think the power needs to go back to referees more.
That's what I think.
Yeah. That's a good little thing. I like it.
I did hear that they are trialing that, you know, in like tennis, you get three calls for I don't agree with that, so I'm going to challenges is the word. They're looking at bringing in that, and I think it's being trialled in like Ireland or somewhere like that to see if it works.
They've got that in cricket as well. And if your challenge is right, you get your challenge back. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. Because there's always going to be stuff like that. You don't always have to use your challenge if it all goes well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Does it? I like it. Does that not make things a little bit more complex?
It does, but it's not working at the moment because you're trying to be consistent about something that you can't be consistent about, which is what I've been asking for. But actually, you can't be consistent about some of this stuff. Offside, you know when a player's offside. Kai Havertz was fucking unlucky to be called offside because his shoulder was offside.
So close, wasn't it?
But so then, like, I'm like, but should you call that offside? Because it's not. Has he got an advantage? And then, I guess he has. So I get it. So that you can say, okay, that's offside. That's not offside. Anything else, a goal, you've got goal line technology. Anything else is almost like, does that become a challenge then?
Yeah, I think you then open up a whole different can of worms of what defines a challenge and what can you challenge, what can't you challenge.
Well, I think
it's so difficult then, isn't it?
I think you've also still got the issue of that consistency. What's the right decision and who makes the right decision? Is that Paul Tierney in the VAR, or is that the referee on the pitch at the moment going by what he feels in light of the atmosphere and the game dynamic and things like that? Because Paul Tierney doesn't have any of that. The referee does.
True.
So it's. So I fixed it by not fixing it.
Sounds about right. FTP. Excellent.
There you go.
Can we all just take a minute to laugh at Spurs?
Oh, mate, I can take more than a minute if you need that.
No, just a minute. That's all we need. Because you lost to Ipswich, handed Ipswich their first win of the season, which brings Tottenham's record this season: 5 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw.
Yeah. Wow.
Is Ange under pressure?
I think he came out and he took responsibility for it. Tottenham were, I think, very poor. But, you know, the analysis that I saw and the game that I saw, Ipswich wanted it more. Ipswich went out. They were first to every ball. And if they weren't first to every ball, then they made sure they were going to get that ball back. They attacked very well. They defended very well. A cracking goal from Smodics.
It was a great goal, and I think it's a
Have you muted yourself?
Yeah, apparently I have. Sorry.
Yeah.
No idea why.
I did a bit of lip reading, thinking, shit, has my ears gone? What's happened? Have I gone deaf?
Schmodik's definitely a contender for goal of the week. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
he's the winner, but definite contender.
Yeah, but Ipswich, but I don't know what you thought of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I've only caught clips of that one, to be fair, but Ipswich, I think they deserve it.
Yeah.
Delap is always at the right place at the right time.
He's such a superstar. Honestly, he's going to be so good.
He is what Nketiah should have been.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Just good, unfortunately. Arsenal, Chelsea. Let's talk about that one.
Arsenal, Chelsea, I felt was a mixed game. The stats say that sort of Chelsea was the better team, actually, which I was quite surprised about because I remember giving Ali a bit of shit thinking, oh, no, Arsenal definitely deserved that. We walked all over them. And then I saw the stats and I was like, that does not seem representative of the game that I've just watched.
Do you know what? I totally agree with you. Chelsea had some good chances, but I don't think they really had that final killer ball to make it, oh my God, that was close kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, Palmer was very quiet. His free kicks were dreadful the whole game.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
Absolutely awful. But I think Arsenal had the better of the chances, but it just highlights yet again, and I think this is for both teams, to be honest, but highlights for Arsenal more that we need a focal point and we need a striker. How many times are we crossing balls into the box? Why? Why are we crossing balls into the box? We have Trossard there, who's like 5'1". He's not going to fucking reach anything on his head, is he?
Well, I don't know. I think that's unfair. I think I agree with you. We do need a striker, but I feel like Havertz he played well. He was the tall man. He was the guy for the hair to get on the end of the balls. I think Chelsea played that offside trap perfect.
They did. They did do that very well. But when it comes to corners and things, or whipping it in, like we're going down the wing and then crossing it back in, the only point we've got is Havertz, who's not an out-and-out striker. He's done well, and I'm not slating him at all because I think he fits that position that we've obviously kind of created around him. But I just can't help but think if you had even like someone like a Giroud, like a bit of presence about you there, it's a different game.
Yeah.
If we had a Gabriel up top, like the passion, the way he plays, the size of him, the presence of him, and his aggression, totally different game then. We probably would have scored another 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Opportunities there. And I think Chelsea would have done the same if they had someone like that. If they had a Drogba, my God, it'd be disgraceful.
I think Nicholas Jackson is their egg. That they're putting all their eggs in him to become good, and you can see, absolutely. Like I saw elements of him doing well in the game.
Mate, his movement's incredible,
and
he obviously I know it was offside, but that finish he did for the offside goal was brilliant. You know, he's calm under pressure. He is getting a lot better, especially this season. But he's not. You know, if you're a top team, you need 2 strikers, minimum.
Yeah, and Arsenal definitely need another striker. To come in because, you know, when Saka come off and Havertz come on, sorry, not Havertz, Jesus. When Jesus come on, he didn't offer anything for me.
No,
he didn't offer anything at all. I thought it was slightly controversial to take off Martinelli, who seemed like he was having the best of our chances, other than maybe Havertz. To take him off and bring Trossard on,
lively as well.
Yeah,
and he got his goal. He's confident. Keep him on the bloody pitch.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, Trossard took that final ball. If he didn't touch it, Havertz is tapping that in.
I know. Oh, mate,
just took it away from him. But you've got to go for it. That's the thing as well. You've got to go for it when you're in that position.
Did you see Arteta on the floor?
Yeah, rolling around. I feel him. I feel his pain. But I think a 1-1 draw is probably fair for both parties.
I don't. I think Arsenal should have won that game. There's no way Neto... There's no way Neto should have been allowed in to score that. Absolute screamer of a goal. I'll give him that. Neto was their best player. He was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, was good.
But I think Arsenal, I don't think that result was fair. I feel like Arsenal should have won that. But we didn't. We got the draw. We move on to the international break. Yeah, funny one. Who, Neto contender for goal of the week?
Yeah, he's up there for me. That was a sublime finish.
Because I think
Sublime finish.
it's the that one, the Smodics goal, Newcastle against Forest.
Joe Linton's goal, mate.
Joe
For
Linton's
me,
goal.
that tops it because he's done a bit of a run himself. He's made space and he just curled it in the corner. But you don't expect it from him either.
Well, he used to be a striker, so I kind of do expect him to have a hit.
He used to, but yeah, he was never prolific, was he? That's the difference. Because was it Steve Bruce, I think, that signed him, wasn't it? Way back when.
Yeah, it might have been.
And did absolutely 40 million, I think it was, or something. It didn't really do anything. And then all of a sudden it got moved into midfield and turned into this different type of player.
Yeah, he's outstanding.
And yeah, he's got these in his locker. Fair play. That's a fair point. I just don't think you expect it anymore. I think that's why, for me, it was so much better than the rest.
Yeah, no, I understand.
was a fantastic goal as well.
Well, yeah, and Fernandez.
Yeah, Fernandez was a good goal.
So, is your vote going for Joe Linton?
I think so, yeah.
Because my vote goes for Cunha in the Wolves-Southampton game.
Really?
Outstanding strike.
Okay.
So, I had Smodics and Cunha as my number one because I just thought the Smodics one was like overhead kick against Tottenham in Tottenham's own backyard. I thought that was fucking perfect. But the Cunha one, I just think, what a hit. But I do agree, Joel Linton's was fantastic. I do agree with the two Man United goals.
Flip a coin. Heads Joe Linton, tails Cunha. Yeah?
Yeah, we're going to go professional that way. Okay, yeah, fine.
Oh, yeah, let's go. It is heads.
So who's that? Joe Linton?
Linton. Yeah.
Okay.
Joe Linton. Congratulations, bruv. Goal of the week. The FDP. Missed 3 away days. Goal of the week. Joe Linton from Newcastle.
Joe Linton.
Just
Manchester City lost.
Sorry, just quickly on Newcastle.
Oh, yeah.
3 wins on the bounce now.
Good for them.
They're getting back to form.
Yeah.
Well, they 8th, I think, in the table now.
Yeah, starting to move up.
Interestingly, dropped Tonali and brought in Longstaff and Willock into that midfield 3, and they look much better, a lot more balanced. Tonali came on and did well, don't get me wrong.
I was just going to say that,
a lot more balanced with those 3. And I think that's what teams need. You don't need all these superstars. You just need balance in the team, don't you?
Yeah.
And as you rightly said, City lost against Brighton. They don't have that balance at the moment.
No, it's a funny one with City. What are they missing?
Rodri.
That is what they're missing. Do you know what?
That link
is between
midfield, defence, midfield and attack is Rodri.
Yeah, you're right.
Foden's not playing well. They've got no spark, no creativity. I don't think Bernardo Silva's playing particularly well. So there's no one feeding Haaland the ball.
Yeah.
Savinho cuts inside, has a shot all the time, rather than crossing it in. Doku's not really been playing much. Grealish has been injured. They just everything seems out of sorts. Obviously, De Bruyne's kind of back, but he's not back. He's on the bench. He must be fit to play some of the game because he's on the bench. But they have had a few injuries, to be fair to them. But they've still got a star-studded bloody sub-bench.
Yeah.
Jason McAtee, as you said last week, he made the bench. So he's on the bench again. So you got players like that, what can you moan about?
Well, they only made 2 subs, I don't know. I don't understand why they didn't think to bring off Haaland and put McAtee on. How do you say it? McAtee. Why couldn't I say that?
Don't know. Let's not go into that. This is a whole different episode. That could be an FTP bonus of Will's pronunciations. Jesus. 101st.
Harsh, but very fucking fair.
Never get over it.
Yeah, it was very well played by Brighton and Hove Albion. I thought they were fantastic.
But they just played City at their own game. They wanted it more. They just outplayed them. I think genuinely they outplayed them.
They did. And what's interesting as well is how you can take off a Dingra who's had a great season so far and then replace him with João Pedro who comes on, scores and sets one up and you're like, yes.
Yeah, that's the perfect sub though, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're doing well, but you think I need to change it up a little bit. And then that person who comes on, just smash it. Same as Liverpool, as we said earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
Obviously
Brighton are
back
brilliant.
after injury, and I thought Belieber as well.
Who?
Unbelievable. Belieber.
I don't know who that is.
What?
Who's Belieber?
Belieber. He came on for Brighton for Ayari.
I don't know who that is either. Fucking hell, mate.
Yeah.
You with the knowledge.
Well, they're all Brighton players, but Belieber, mate, he's having such a good season. Keep an eye out.
All right, I'll have a look.
I know
I'll keep an eye
you
on
sort
FPL.
of. I know you like dip in and out of football at the minute. Like you're like, I'll watch that. Oh no, don't watch that one. You know, that's why you've got your catchphrase. But have a look out for Believer.
Dickhead. Absolute dickhead. All right, I'll try and have a look this week.
Well, it's international break, so maybe do it next week.
Well, no, I can have a look this week because I can look at the highlights and stuff.
Yeah, search him up on YouTube, mate. That'll show you all of the highlights.
Great idea. There you go, mate. There you go.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Another good week of football. International break now. Got a week off.
Yeah, got a week off now. After the Brentford-Bournemouth game, I bet those players are fucking pleased. Wow.
Oh, mate.
That was energetic, wasn't it?
Mate, Brentford have been like that all season, though, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're just literally just full 100% tempo, 24/7.
Yeah.
365. Yeah, they're just insane.
Yeah. Good win for Fulham as well, away at Palace. Palace, a bit worried about them.
ESR, mate. What a signing.
Yeah.
They love him down there as well.
The Arsenal
Love
boys are
him.
sorting it out for Fulham.
They are. It won't
I'd
be
argue
this season with ESR now as well.
The Arsenal boys at Fulham are better than the Arsenal boys at Arsenal at the moment.
Oh, mate, on form, absolutely. I still think it's mad that we got rid of ESR in the first place.
Oh, mate, yeah, but it was great to have Erdegaard back, though. What a baller, by the way.
It was, but I feel like he was a bit of a liability second half.
Martin Erdegaard?
Yeah, he lost the ball. The last sort of 15, 20 minutes, he lost the ball a lot. Yeah.
What? He's unbelievable. Unplayable.
He is unbelievable. He's a fantastic player, but he was a bit of a liability.
Sometimes I feel like we watch different games.
No,
I'll go back and I'll watch the highlights.
Yeah, do it. I mean, the highlights, he probably won't show him losing the ball, but yeah. Watch the lowlights.
I'll watch the lowlights.
Yeah, watch the lowlights, mate.
All right, mate. Well, it was nice to see you.
Yeah, and you. Hopefully I'll see you tonight at football.
Yeah, I'll catch up with you soon, brother.
Fingers crossed. See you soon. Cheers for listening. Thanks, guys.